Well, hello. Oh, somebody had the hello in there super quick. I like it. What's up, everybody? Hopefully there's enough audio. I don't know if anybody can hear me or not. I don't have a microphone, so I'm just sort of shouting at the cell phone. I don't know. Maybe people will pop on and let me know what's going on. Um, Hopefully everybody's having a lovely Friday out there in the world, wherever the world is for you, whatever part of the world you're in. I see Joel Gillett just went by. um, yeah, hopefully you guys are having a brilliant Friday out there. Today we are live in the fish room. Kind of weird, kind of different, kind of spur of the moment. I had to go spur of the moment, you guys, because as a fishy mailman says, did he go office space on the computer? My computer is officially broken. It is officially broken, and it's no longer operating. So that's what's going on. Why I'm on the cell phone, why I'm just in the fish room, and why I'm not going to be able to answer Patreon questions, because I don't have a thing. I don't have a thing to look up the Patreon questions. So I literally am just kind of hanging out in the fish room for a couple minutes. I spent all day working on the computer, and it is toast. So basically, we had a giant windstorm here yesterday in Western Washington, and as you guys know, I've been having some issues with that computer. Basically, I kind of just run that thing like full throttle all the time, so it's been having some issues and stuff. And so to basically stay with the car analogy, for whatever reason, I basically run it. I run it full throttle all the time, and essentially the engine, the CPU, the little brain, the little engine that could, is broken. As we had a giant windstorm yesterday, the power turned on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off a whole bunch of times. And I think that was just enough to, basically just fry the CPU in the computer. So it's there's not really a way to recover it. I wish there was. I think there's like a guy out there that maybe has a microscope and can do. I'm just noticing a little bit of hair algae right here. It's a great shot. It's a great shot. I do get hair algae from time to time, you guys. I have to fight algae on a regular basis. I actually have a video coming out about this 240 and the hair algae and how to deal with it, and how I personally deal with it, and how things are, just how it goes. But anyhow, back to the computer issue. Basically, there is a guy who could probably fix it with like a microscope and like a soldering microscope. But I think by the time I find that person, I would have a huge Santa Claus beard, a big gray beard, and by then we probably won't even use computers anymore. It'll probably be like some kind of other technology, I would guess. Why is this weird? Oh, there we go. I don't know. I guess my cell phone doesn't really like face detect as well as my cameras do. Which, big ups to Canon, because my cameras actually work, Oh, that happened to my chat there. It stopped scrolling. I see Fishy Mailman, Dan Squires, Susan. Good to see you, Susan. Superior Guppy was the first to the chat today. I think he was like, you can hear before they even opened up. So, it's one of those things that, computers break. It's just kind of one of the things. And then, so I basically had to run all these diagnostics today to find out which part was broken. That's one of the things that's really irritating when a computer breaks, is like, it's not obvious. It's not obvious like which part is broken. So, a lot of the forum guys and stuff, and I did post on Facebook, and people had some good ideas. about what's up with that whole thing, but it's not the power supply and any of that other stuff. It just turns out it's the actual processor. It's the motor. It's like the motor to the car. And the weird thing is that it's only a couple years old, but they don't make that, with air quotes, motor, right? The CPU, they don't make that chip anymore, so that now the ones that are available are as expensive as buying a whole brand new motherboard and computer, and CPU. So I think I'm probably just going to end up going that route. Not a lot of fun, just going to have to max out the credit cards, but I don't know, that's life, man. That's just life sometimes. Sometimes this stuff breaks and then I got to make a new one, Dave B says, God bless Mac. Macintosh, they break all the time too. I think here's a good example. A friend of mine's MacBook Pro, whatever, the big one, the big fancy one, the charging outlet broke on his MacBook Pro, and it cost it was $299 to replace it. It's $300 plus tax because it's labor, because it was labor included. So he also had to pay tax on it, and he was not happy about that at all. So because it was like he either had a MacBook that wasn't charged, that would never be charged, or pay that I think it was like $350. I think it was $350 by the end of it. So, it's kind of one of those things. Bentley says I might try checking RePC in Tukwila. It's possible that they might have a CPU there or whatnot for sale, but I honestly don't want to end up in this situation again anytime soon. So I think I'm just going to go the route of getting a new motherboard. Luckily, like all the hard drives and everything I have, they're all fine. The graphics card is fine. All my RAM is fine. All that kind of stuff. So it's more. I just don't have time. I just don't have time to tear the whole thing apart and put it back together. So that's really going to be a big part of the issue. Is like, dude, do I even have time to take this thing apart and put it back together? So I got Christmas coming up. I got work. As who did I meet yesterday? I think I met Mike. What is it, Mike something Jr. yesterday, along with a couple other people. I was up installing a new bathroom fan into the cement ceiling, which I was up at the Aquarium Co-op yesterday installing a new fan and just fixing some broken stuff. And I think I met Mike yesterday, but that's a good example. Like when I go out on the road and I have to work, stuff like that. I end up being up somewhere like that. But I also get a chance to meet some cool people, so that's not too bad. I don't think that's too bad. So I'm just gonna have to do what I can to like book more jobs like that. Dave B with a huge super chat for the computer fund. That's a lot, bro. That's a lot. Well, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Rumbust with the Swedish Krones, 1683. 1683. Who knows? Who knows what that's all about? I think I figured it out a while ago. I don't know. I don't know if I want to play coy and act like I didn't figure it out a little while ago. That's how many days I've been sober. He super chats like 1 cent for every day, 1 Swedish cent for every day that I've been sober. So, and he's on point. It's 1,683 days. That's how many days it's been that I've been sober. So, thank you. And it's crazy that he keeps track. I like it. That's nuts. Alexandra Carrier says Aquabit. Savannah dislikes working on Macs and dislikes dealing with the red tape on their software. I refuse to buy Apple anything anymore. My MP3 player is a Sony Walkman now. Yeah, I would recommend anybody I got some new Sony headphones for all the crazy travel that we were doing, like going to Germany and back and all that stuff this year. Uh, and I have to say, those headphones were dope. So I could say like Sony still has the audio stuff going on, and those are Bluetooth, so you don't normally think there's going to be all that great from like Bluetooth speakers, but that's pretty cool. Alvin Alejo says, "Can you create a GoFundMe?" I know. If there's a GoFundMe that you guys need to put money on, I would put money on um, the. There was a GoFundMe for ladders for against Trump's wall, which I thought is hilarious. That's a hilarious troll. If you feel like you got to do a GoFundMe thing, just go give money to that thing. I'm not doing a GoFundMe to build my computer. You guys know that we did do a Fish Fam GoFundMe for 54 Punchy's computer, and that was awesome. I thought that was rad. That was like the coolest thing. We got 54 Punchy a brand new computer, and that was awesome. So, like I said, I'm not here to necessarily just fundraise for a new computer. That's not what I'm doing. You guys know I normally do a Friday show, and I wanted to be able to just at least come on, show you guys like at least one of the tanks in the background, and let you guys know that I didn't die. I'm not dead. It's all gravy. I wouldn't worry too much about it. If you guys, the normally on Fridays we normally do the Patreon page, so. If you feel like you want to do something over on Patreon, you could probably do that. Like, that's all good. Soren Abildgaard. Abildgaard. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but thank you, Soren. I appreciate it. Like I said, I'm not necessarily just here to ask for funding or anything. Like, it just is what it is. The computer broke because of the storm. And I'll be honest with you, I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that at all. I got home from a long day yesterday, and I went into my office. I was about to call it my studio, but I'm really not that fancy. Come on, guys. But I'm going to my office and trying to just check on emails, see what's going on, like how many people I got to respond to or whatever, and like all the monitors were all black, like everything was turned off, and I was just like, oh, that's not normal. So as you guys know, I have a really old computer that's the one that I normally, it's basically like the one that I email from. And that thing took a minute to heat up. That thing took a minute to warm up, and I was like, oh, whoa, hey, buddy. But that computer is fine. It just is slow. So it survived. So I would say, like, if anybody was thinking it was a giant power surge, I don't think that was it. I think it just had to do with it turning on and off and on and off. It just kind of shorted it out, I think. I don't know. Loaves and Fishes with a super chat, thank you. Like I said, I'm not necessarily here just fundraising for a computer. I did on Wednesday. I forget who was asking. Somebody was asking about computer parts and to make sure that my Amazon list was updated. It's kind of weird because I actually had to update the Amazon list, and then this happens. But as I mentioned, I'm just going to end up putting this on credit and rebuild the computer because it's going to be the best way to just go, because I don't think I'm just going to quit working because one of my tools broke, right? That seems weird. That would be like a weird thing to have happen, like be out on a construction site and like somebody like break one of their tools and just like, I'm leaving. I'm gonna quit. That'd be funny. Although I guess in restaurants I have seen that kind of nonsense happen before. I think I have seen that happen before a few times. Alexandra Carrier's laughing because I said he came on to give an update and he's going to end up getting a new computer for free. Like I said, I'm not necessarily here to. I'm not necessarily here to like ask for a new computer or anything like that. I literally, I guess I want to tell you guys what's going on with me, and so I always try to let you guys know what's going on, and that's why I'm here from the fish room. I don't normally do my live streams like this. I normally do them different. Friday I have an obligation to the Patreon people and I normally answer their questions and highlight their comments and stuff like that. And I just want people to know what's up. That's why I'm like, the stupid thing's broken. I can't do it. So can't do it right now, but hopefully, I'm probably just gonna like next day parts, or same day or something like that, and hopefully Sunday I'll be able to get it built. Because I was looking on Amazon and I realized like there's a lot of the parts and stuff that are a one-day delivery, so I might be able to just get stuff and get it on like a one-day delivery tomorrow. And maybe I'll be able to just get the stuff tomorrow and then start building it, and then hopefully it'll be up and running by Monday. But the one downside is that I'm not going to be able to keep my copy of Windows from that computer and migrate it onto the new motherboard and CPU. But here's the cool thing: Bentley went, because we know some Microsoft people around here. We know some cool computer people around here, and we got a copy of Windows, so that's all handled and not that big of a deal. But that's just kind of, it just is kind of lame, when things don't work. And there's Bentley right there if he wants to drop by. Yeah, I mean, if you want to swing by tonight, that's awesome, Bentley. I was assuming I would come up to Bentley's place, maybe shoot a video or something, because my place is kind of a mess right now. That's one of the reasons I don't normally shoot videos from the fish room, is because, like live, is because things are a mess. Like, if I literally just pan over here, it's like, what's all this jargon? Like, I literally just have like, like I even have some old Melifix sitting here for some reason. Like, I don't even know why. Like, this has to go. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Melifix. Oh, I do know why. Why would I have Okay, that's a bad explanation. That was a bad example. Because I do need filter floss, so should be here. And I do need Melifix for if I ever buy corals ever again. Because that's how I do my coral dips. I dip my coral into Melifix just for like 3 minutes, about 3 minutes. So what do they call that? Like 180 seconds. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how long 3 minutes is if we're on the flat Earth, right? It becomes confusing. But I do have something kind of fun here that I've never bothered to test this out. I don't know if anybody has tested one of these out before. It's a prefabricated CO2 diffuser, but it's so small. It's just so small. So I think I'll probably end up testing this someday, but I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. Dave B says replacing the motherboard and CPU will not affect your hard drive. Yeah, it won't affect my hard drive. That's true, but my copy of Windows is the OEM copy of Windows, which means if it knows all of the parts that are supposed to be in there. So if you that copy of Windows is exactly the same, but it's cheaper. So I think when I got it, I think a copy of Windows was like $80 instead of, or maybe it was $50 or something like that. Because I think it's like $100 now. I think it was like half the price. So maybe it was like $80, and at the time it was like $150 for like the whole suite or whatever. Either way, it was like half price, but you can't just migrate that onto another computer. It invalidates the key. So, But anyhow, like I was saying, that will happen when I migrate it over there, and I will need a new key, which on a couple of occasions I've called and been like, hey, my motherboard got blah 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 blah, and I'll try to do that, but there's no guarantee that they will do that. There's no guarantee that they will allow you to migrate that new copy over and give you a key. So, they don't like give you a guarantee that that'll happen, even if you contact them. If you contact them and they're like, well, we told you that you would only get one license, then sometimes they get fussy with it. A lot of times they've been cool in the past, but it's not a guarantee. And the problem would be, like, if I built a new computer, logged everything onto it, and then it doesn't work because I have essentially like a test copy of Windows, that would be crazy irritating. That would be crazy irritating. Like if I couldn't edit because I only had the copy, and then I'd have to go buy a digital copy. So it just is what it is. But I'm actually pretty excited to try out this CO2. Hold on, who makes this? CO2 reactor. Who makes this? Oh, ISTA. ISTA makes this. It's just the only downside, I think, is like the fittings on it, right? Like push fittings. I don't like push fittings. Because then you end up with like hose clamps. That's not cool. And then a push fitting for the CO2, that's always slightly dangerous. Like even the barbs on here are pretty, they're pretty relaxed. Those barbs are pretty smooth. So I don't really like that much. But it was super cheap, so I can't really get super mad at them for that. But here's the cool part. The bottom comes off in case you need to clean it, so you can take the inside part out. So that's pretty good. But I am excited to use this. It was cheap though. I think it was like $17 or something like that. So I'll probably make like a follow-up video against making your own one, because I know that making my own ones is more expensive. That's for sure. Because like I said, this is only like $17, and you go buy a couple of PVC parts, a couple of like threaded PVC parts and things like that. Like push to fit connect, you're gonna go over $17 real easy, especially if you buy like clear acrylic tubing. Dan Squires says go Intel and watch Oddball. Who's Oddball? I don't know, but I think Intel is the whole reason. I think Intel's the whole reason that I'm in this pickle that I'm in. LG3 Nation with a super chat. Alvin Alejo with a super chat. John Gilman with a super chat. Oh my God, so many people super chatting. All right, I think I got it. I don't have the control over the chat like I normally do. I don't have a mouse or anything. I'm gonna literally laugh at Frank Dominguez. Frank's flashing his own computer and he's getting the view. Yeah, so that's what was kind of going on today. As far as the tanks and stuff going on, the 120 is back over there. I don't know. I don't think there's any way that I could like flip the camera around. I think I have like too much distance on this, but I can move you guys. So maybe I'll just move you guys over there a little bit. It's still, the contrast is really weird on this. What? Okay, I'm gonna close that. I don't know what that was. I just opened up some weird menu. Alright, well. But the 240 is coming along. Like I said earlier, I am dealing with some of this hair algae right here, so that's ongoing, but not the worst thing ever to deal with. A little bit of hair algae. The rummy nose are, I'm going to be honest with you guys, the rummy nose have taken a bit of a beating ever since the pufferfish have been in here. Like, I'm not happy about it, but if I'm going to stick to my own standards and say, you know, like, it's a nature aquarium. I try to put things in that are in the same, you know, water parameters and that kind of stuff. Then that's kind of what I'm sticking to. And I got the puffers in there, and they've eaten some of the rummy nose. It's not great, but I think that's just life. Like, see, there's one of them right there. I don't know if you can see that. If you can see a puffer. Yeah, see, there's a puffer right there. Just kind of casually hunting around, doing a little puffer stuff, going back into the darkness. That's one of the things I really like about the puffers, is that they're always just kind of hanging around in the darkness and cruising about and doing awesome puffer stuff. So I'm pretty happy, and like I said, they definitely have been eating and growing and doing pretty well. I don't want rummy nose to get eaten, but some of them have gotten eaten. So you better watch out. If you're not tough like a puffer, if you're only tough like a rummy nose, you gotta watch out. Chad Krotz with a $10 super chat saying, enjoy the fish room stream. Merry Christmas from our family and to all you fishy peoples and to yours. Well, thank you very much, guys. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, you know, it's not required. It's not really why I was here, but I was just trying to let you guys know, like, what's happening and stuff, so that you can be like, oh, that's what's going on. This guy didn't do a thing because he's lazy or something. And I'd be like, no, man, the thing broke. Ken M.A. with a $20 super chat. He's got the 1999 because he's got an iPhone. Which I wonder what it costs to fix an iPhone compared to an Android phone. Because I got an Android phone right now on my big jib. My big jib is super mad that I'm moving it around, but because it's locked. But it just has a screw down lock, and you can still move it, but I don't know. So what else is going on in the fish room? What else do I got going on in here? I've got this tank right over here, which is, you know, oh, hold on. Oops. The thing came loose. My fancy setup came loose. Oh, there we go. How's that? This is a pretty cool tank. I got this dumb light in the way, though. Ah! Ah! Oh, man. Move out of the way. All right. So I had to move that thing out of the way. Yet another reason why I don't stream from the fish room live, because I end up having to move things out of the way. Let me see if I can adjust this so it makes a little more sense. There's a lot of reflections and stuff in that, but it gives you an idea. This is a 150-gallon aquarium right here. This is mainly shrimp and one guppy. There's one female guppy that live in here. It's a pretty fun tank, honestly. I think it's coming along pretty well. Obviously, you can't. I don't know how to get an angle on it if I'm sitting in it on my cell phone. I know how to do it with my camera, but I don't know how to do it with my cell phone. But it's a pretty cool aquarium overall. It turns out that the guy that built this aquarium is the same guy who built the 120s. I bought this one used, and I will tell you, I bought this one used for way less than the new ones. It's bigger than the new ones, and it was way cheaper. It was way cheaper because I bought it used from somebody. We got a $500 million super chat here from 54 Punchy. It says, what brand of potting soil do you use in your aquariums, Joel? Merry Christmas. I use Fluval. I use Fluval brand potting soil. It's called Stratum. You know, of which I've talked to, you know, here's the problem. People think I talk a lot of smack about dirting an aquarium, and, you know, the wall stab method is what it actually is. Which I think everybody should read that, or you should 100% at least try it out at some point in time. I will let people know one of the reasons I don't recommend it is because it can easily become a disaster when we start adding things like CO2, bright, awesome Fluval lights, right? We start adding Fluval lights, all of a sudden we've got a ton of light in there. We've got, you know, and then we start adding filters to it. We start doing all this stuff. That is not how you want to do a wall stab method tank. You basically, with a wall stab method tank, you want to, you know, set up the tank, use some sunlight, right? You want to utilize some sunlight, a little bit of sunlight, and no filter. The plants are the filter, all that kind of stuff. So it's definitely something worth trying at some point in time, but I would remind people that you're not necessarily going to save money if you do end up buying all of the other stuff. You're going to end up redoing the tank, honestly, in the long run. So I try to recommend people that start out with quality products. It doesn't have to be Fluval stuff. It could be fluorite. It could be excuse me. Wow. It doesn't have to be, you know, Fluval stuff. It doesn't have to be, you know, it doesn't have to be ADA, aqua soil, or anything crazy like that. You can get some cheaper stuff like EcoComplete and whatnot, but I don't find that stuff to be actually cheaper once you look at the volume. So I realistically think like Fluval Stratum's the best bang for the buck for how much it costs versus how much you get. And I recommend people to like just start out with the legit stuff, because eventually down the road you could do a dirted aquarium. Once you have, like, if you're a beginner, it's not a great place to start out. It's a great place to venture into if you're somebody that already has experience and whatnot. The unfortunate side of that is that most people start out doing a soil dirt base in their aquarium, and then from there they end up just having a lot of disasters and a lot of frustration and stuff like that. And we don't want that with somebody that's starting out. We want frustration and rage for experienced old graybeard dudes like me, right? Or ladies. Graybeard ladies. We like graybeard ladies too. Ashton Fitzgerald says, what's a reasonable price for a used 240-gallon acrylic? Saw one today for $1,500 CDN. I have no idea what CDN is. Is that Canadian? Is that Canadian dollars? Canadian dollars, I think. So, okay, Friday Fishback says that's Canadian. Legit. Okay. So, Canadian monies, it's probably like 1,200 or 1,000 American, somewhere around there. I forget how much the exchange rate is, so maybe 1,200. Let's call it 1,200. I wouldn't be mad at that. Because realistically, you know, the 120s that I just bought were they were like $1,200. So I wouldn't be mad at that. That's a pretty good price. If it's in really good shape, that's a good price. But you might be able to hammer them down a little bit and be like, oh, you want 1,500, but I got 1,000. Is there something that we could work out for 1,000? because 1,000's a good amount of money, really, when you think about it. Somebody that's turning down $1,000 would be kind of a little bit weird to me, especially if they're like selling a fish tank. Like a fish tank person that's selling a fish tank shouldn't be like too mad about 1,000. But maybe he comes back with 1,200 and you save 300 Canadian, and then you can buy some good substrate for it. Got a $2 super chat here from Anthony Ellis. Preferred substrate. If you could only have one. Ooh, man. Preferred substrate if I could only have one. I mean, I think honestly, if I could only have one, I probably would stick with Stratum. I think I would probably stick with Fluval Stratum. It's an overall performer as far as I'm concerned. And most things that I could amend it with, then if most people, hold on. Most of the things that I can amend it with are like fertilizers and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think I would just go with Stratum. I mean, ADA, Aquasoil, maybe. Maybe the Shrimp King stuff. I like the Shrimp King stuff a lot. Maybe Oliver Knott's new soil. There's some I haven't tried, that's for sure. Fab4 with a $20 super chat. Joel looks like we may have to move the computer process along quicker than we thought. yeah, it's unfortunate. The giant windstorm yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw it on the news, but Mount Baker, they clocked 117 miles an hour at Mount Baker yesterday. Says Fab4 Enterprises, aka Paul and Hillary, will sponsor what we can with those great Hilton honor points. Get over to Amazon or over to Amazon gift cards. Man, hey, $20 is plenty. That's awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Like, you guys like tuning in and sharing out videos and stuff like that. Honestly, that's more than enough. And that's free. You know what I mean? It's like 5 minutes of your time. Share videos out. Let people know about something that you like. Maybe it's something you don't like. I'm even down for people sharing a video if they're like, this sucks. I hate this guy. I mean, that'd be fine. I realized what I forgot. I forgot my coffee, and I forgot my coffee, but I can vape in here. It's not the worst. I can vape in here a little bit. I got enough air exchange that it'll be fine. Plus, Olivia doesn't hang out here. Otherwise, she'd be like, "What's all that? It smells like strawberries." And she'd be like, "I'm hungry." Let's see. Aquanoob says, everyone hit the like button. Yeah, I guess we need people to hit the... We just have to say, like, that goofy stuff where we have to, like... I always have to say, like, goofy stuff that... Like, hit the like button and all that kind of stuff. Otter Creek Aquatics. Hey, Joel, what are your thoughts so far on the Team Green Alliance group so far? I like the Team Green Alliance group so far. It's a good group. A lot of... seasoned and new creators in there and stuff, so there's some definite good stuff. I'm gonna be doing my best to recruit in the next year. Obviously I have a computer problem right now, but you guys saw the video from the other day that Jay Wilson sent in a video question. That's one of the things that I'm going to be bringing to the channel more often, is people sending in video questions, and then I'm going to do a dive into answering it. And the possibility is, like, I really hope that that will be a format that can, get some steam with it, get some traction a little bit and see how it goes, because I like the fans to be able to send in videos. I'd like other creators to be able to send in video questions and stuff like that. I mean, even if they're goofy, I don't really care, because I'll be able to, curate them. Like, if somebody's asking me an inappropriate question, I'll just disregard it, just like all the other inappropriate nonsense that I get from time to time, right? But that's ultimately my goal moving into 2019, is to do more produced videos like that are actually answering questions from actual people. So, and I hope that can be a collaborative thing, that hopefully we can get the word out for some newer channels and stuff like that. And we can also, give a face and a voice to those people that only ever type in. It's just a matter of like turning on your cell phone, recording a video, and getting it sent in. And then I'm just going to keep plugging away at that. And I don't know if you guys liked it. I don't know if you guys disliked it. I have some more coming out that are in process, but the computer broke, so they'll have to wait until the computer works again. But that's excuse me, forgot my coffee and I keep coughing. But once the computer's back up and running again, I'll get some more editing done on those and keep rocking and rolling. And one of the things that, so I guess because you brought that up, the Team Green Alliance it's a small Facebook group of creators and stuff like that, like new and old, to try and help give some advice and kind of move things forward and make it a little easier to collaborate and that kind of stuff. So I really enjoy those kinds of groups. I'm not a huge fan of the gigantic Facebook groups of 100,000 people. It's too difficult to really engage very well in the way that Facebook works. Aquaballs is here, says, do you recommend Planet Tank 200 gallons? Well, that one's 150 and that one right over there is 240. So yeah, I mean, it's right in between. I've had a 210 that was planted, 210 gallon planted aquarium. I don't know if I've ever had exactly a 200 gallon aquarium. I don't think I have. Lucy and Richard, the $20 super chat. Man, you guys are wilding out today. Must be holiday season or something. I don't know. Sopoloco. You told me that was your gamer handle, and I like that. I appreciate that a lot. Corvus Oshkin is my gamer handle. That's why my channel is named this. It is 100% my gamer handle. It is Latin, so you can go look it up. It's essentially the same word over and over again. It's just like if you were to say honeybee or bumblebee, you know what I mean? It's like kind of the same word, but I love that. And you were saying, where did it go? It scrolls so fast on here. Love the video, and now I'm going to put Pogostem enceladus octopus in all of my sumps. I would 100% recommend that. It is an awesome plant, especially like growing above the water. Oh my God, I'm getting a phone call. Oh man, I got a phone call during it. I wonder what happened. Did it just black out for a minute? I don't know what happens. I accidentally answered it. I accidentally answered the phone call instead of made it go away. I wonder if it's still working. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like it's still working. Okay. I could trade him my PC, but we would need to replace all the parts, deeming the trade useless. Well, thanks, Potato Bro. And Cowdo Punk, $50 super chat with the Internet Machine Fund. Okay, that's crazy. Thank you. Multi-tank addiction. I ended up getting a Canon T6 for $315. I couldn't pass it up. Oh, I'm getting a call again. Decline. Okay, I didn't answer it this time. There we go. Giving telemarketers a run for their money. I guess that's true. So multi-tank addiction got a new camera. T6 actually is a fine camera. It's a pretty good one. And you could definitely shoot a lot of stuff with it. The only downside to some of those smaller DSLRs like that is that they can't handle a long runtime of filming. They have a tendency to overheat. Even the newer cameras have a tendency to overheat. As you guys saw, Aquarium Co-op's camera overheated once during his live stream because he had it on for like 6 hours. I mean, he had it on for like 6 hours, but you know, if it's just sitting there on and not doing anything, it's not really going to heat up all that much. But if it's actually on, Greg Jones, is this the call-in talk show? Yeah, I wish I had that. I wish I had that ability to like have people call in. That would be cool. But that's like kind of the new format of the videos that I'm working on, with people being able to send in a recorded like, and I'm telling people to not send in like something that's really produced. Even if people really want to send in something super produced, I really want it to just be, you know, I got my cell phone, I'm in a quiet room, maybe you're in your fish room or something like that, and you're like just in your fish room, it's nice and quiet, you just record a question, it's pretty simple. Like, technology seems to be there these days, and almost everybody has a cell phone. So like, if somebody was shooting on their Sony A7 IIIRS with gigantic lens and it was super fancy looking and this and that, like, it might turn people off to be like, oh, I don't want to send anything in. You know what I mean? Like, some people might not want to send in a video because they'd be like, well, mine doesn't look great, you know. Then that would kind of be a drag if people were turned off, like they didn't want to send something in. Because I could see that. I could definitely see that happening with a lot of people. That they'd be like, oh, he only puts up like the super fancy videos and stuff like that. So, I mean, you can see the one I got from Jay Wilson. There's like literally like a bandsaw running in the background. So, I mean, I don't even know if it gets like any noise. Like, it was difficult to process the audio on that. So that would be the one thing I would remind anybody is like, maybe turn off the manufacturing stuff going on in the background, you know, like maybe turn that off for a minute. This is the only effect I have right now. It's that the faux smoky strawberry vape effect. Jake Hussey's asking, does Vegas 16 have motion tracking built into it? I believe so. Yes, I think so. Yes. I've only fiddled with it a little bit. As you guys know, I utilize Vegas Pro 16. That's what I use. That's the editing program that I use. It's definitely come down in price. It's definitely gotten to be a little bit more affordable now. It's only like $300. Whereas, you know, when I got it, it was like $600, $700 or something crazy like that. I just about had a heart attack when I bought it, but it's definitely come down in price. It really does work pretty well because a German company took it over and they've been fixing some stuff. RJL is asking, is that an Aspire? Yes, that is an Aspire. Vape is what got me off the cigarettes. I haven't smoked since whenever, however long it's been since Olivia's been born. So I'm all for people vaping and whatnot. Whether or not it's healthier or not, I think it's healthier than smoking, so who cares, you know? Like, I just, you know, it's keeping me off cigarettes, and I don't ever want to have anything to do with cigarettes ever again. And, you know, as a testimonial to that, let's see, so I was vaping, and then I had, like, a couple of cigarettes left. And, so I had like a couple left, and I went to go have one, and this was like maybe 2-3 days after. 2 days. It was 2 days after Olivia was born. I went to go have one, and I was like, "Oh, that's disgusting," and I just threw it away. So I'm stoked that I can at least kick that habit, and I look at it this way: like, kicking nicotine is going to be a little bit of a problem. But But I think the big thing is that there isn't as many chemicals. So I think I've gotten over whatever all the chemicals were in there. So I've gotten over that portion of that hurdle, to get over that. And then I'm just gonna have to deal with weaning myself off nicotine, which I think is kind of a better idea as far as my brain works. So there's a million different ways out there, a million different things that you could or couldn't do. And any of them I would encourage. Whatever works for you is going to be good for you. Same thing as far as recovery goes. Like I said, I've been sober for like 4 years and 8 months or something like that now. And I with just cold turkey on that stuff, and doctor stuff involved and all that. It was like kind of crazy. So, I'm kind of just baby stepping off of this thing. And as far as I'm concerned, if I'm not giving money, I guess money or whatever, but like, I don't know. I guess that's part of it. But like giving money to tobacco companies, kind of terrible in a way, kind of a roundabout, like bad thing. And then, like I said, all the chemicals. So I don't like really have to deal with getting off the chemicals at this point. So, I think that's just going to be the better way to go. I think it's going to be easier just to deal with getting off nicotine all by itself as opposed to all the other stuff. And I definitely feel a lot better. I feel a lot better. I don't feel all haggard. I feel like the regular amount of I'm super old and been through the ringer a bunch. However many times I've been in the hospital and all that kind of stuff. I've been through the ringer a lot. And so I do feel haggard because of that. Oh, the puffers are fighting. Oh, there's no way I'm going to catch that. Oh, there they go. Hold on. They're breakdance fighting. Can I get them? Oh, I missed them. They were being territorial with each other. I don't know. There's 2 females and a male. And if you guys don't know, I got these from Preston John, who actually has a website now that you might be able to order your own. I have no idea. I told you this is why I don't shoot from the fish room. Levels. This is this old, crazy, like terrible level just attacked me. I tried to move my chair. I'm actually sitting on a step stool. Anyhow, but what was the word? What was the word I was on? What happened? Oh, the puffers are fighting. There's 2 females and a male. So they do get a little territorial and stuff like that, but this is a pretty big tank, and they do fine. What I was talking about was Preston John has a website now that you might be able to order some of these fish. Don't know how much they are. Don't know how it works. I just have peripheral knowledge that he has a website up now. I don't know how functional it is yet or any of that kind of stuff, but keep an eye out that you might be able to set something up and get some of these cool little puffers yourself. These are the spotted Congo puffer, the Scotadenti. I don't know how to say it right. I call them Scoot and Fruities, but All right, guys, we're coming up on an hour. And I'm going to have to go do something. I don't know how to, can I check? Can I check the super chats? Are there buttons here? Can I hit the like on my own thing? No. I don't get any like cool readout displays on this style, right? But we're coming up on an hour. Let me see if I got any questions. I can scroll back here a little bit. Cowdo Punk says, you just reminded me to move my huge level I have in my fish room. I trip on it every time I'm near it. Yeah, I pretty regularly trip over that one because I don't really care about that one that much. My big, nice one it's not in my truck because somebody will break into my truck and try and steal it. But you know what I mean. Jason Smith, Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo. This time it's personal. If you guys don't know what Electric Boogaloo is, get on it, okay? And first, you should watch Breaking. Then you should watch Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo so you will know what's going on. Gotta go. Thanks for the hangout from Ashton Fitzgerald. All right. Derek Reynolds says, I used the e-cig to stop smoking, and now I don't do either. I think it's a good stepping stone, but about 5 years. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much 100% what it's all about. I'm not encouraging people to vape. I'm encouraging people to quit smoking. That's real bad. I'll never smoke around my child. That was a real motivation. I'm not going to smoke around my kid. Ever since I started catching your live stream, people occasionally subscribe to mine, then realize I have nothing, and then unsubscribe. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, Jason. You should get some subscribers. Why not? It's always good. Lucy and Richard had to go. Jake Hussey's wondering, so does this mean a Threadripper is coming sooner than later? Well, honestly, personally, I don't have enough money to do the Threadripper at this point. I don't think I can pull the trigger on it. The motherboard itself is about $350, something like that, and the processor itself is about $629.00 plus tax, whatever that is. So, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. I would love to do the Threadripper build, but I don't know. I should probably talk to Vicky about it. She's the one that would know how to make the decision. You know, she would know if it's a good idea or a bad idea. Knox 808 here. What's up, man? Aloha. It's good to see you, brother. Only got like a couple minutes left here. All right. Okay. Well, either way, everybody's just talking about vaping and stuff in the questions. So we'll come up on the end of the chat. I want to say thanks to everybody. Super generous, like I said. You know, not like trying to get a new computer. Like I said, I'm gonna buy one. Otherwise, I'm not gonna be able to do my job. So, Flash Can said, "Good evening. Do you know which part died?" The CPU. The CPU died, and the socket on the motherboard is the old 211 version 3 LGA Intel socket. So that's the big problem. I can't find a chip that will actually go into the motherboard that will fit that socket that isn't. It's more expensive to buy the chip than to just buy a whole new motherboard and CPU, AMD style, right? So the parts for the AMD parts is about like $150 for the motherboard and about $350 for the CPU. So add that up to about $500. The cheapest chip I could find was $689. Just because they're old, so they don't make them anymore. It's not like they have a bunch of inventory and can put them on sale or anything like that. So it's just an old deal, and Intel is already like however many sockets away from that, so they don't do it anymore, and kind of sucks, but that's how it goes. All right, guys, I'll holler at you all later. Have a fantastic one. Oh, don't forget to hit the like button and do all the subscribing and blah, 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 Scooby-Doo. Later. Oh, where's the button? CJ Black's hit the button again.